Time and space have lost all meaning, and yet still we look to the future. A future that may never happen if we fail in our mission. We watch to remind us of what we are fighting for. This is the Ex-Aid Rider Log. Greetings, Ranger fans. Database Ranger reporting in. This is Rider Log, designation KREX, Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. So, the show starts off with our pixel-powered, pink spandexed, motocross-armored, and anime-haired hero with freakishly large eyes, Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, aka Emu Hojo.
The kids can call you Hoju.
A young intern doctor and former video game champion nicknamed M. I wonder if the M stands for Mario. He is a licensed medical professional after all. Together with nurse Asuna Karano, a former video game mascot named Poppy Papapino, Peep Pop Poop Pop Peep Pop Poop Pop Poop Pop Pop Poop Poppy, he battles against the deadly Bugster virus, a video game disease causing people to disappear as they are slowly replaced with powerful real-world video game characters. He's joined by fellow doctors, Hiro, Taiga, and Kaya, as they all transform into the increasingly inaccurately titled Kamen Riders, who charge up from chibis to champions, and when not battling each other as the mallet-wielding Ex-Aid, sword-swinging Brave, target-shooting Snipe, and Laser, who is somehow the one who gets ridden rather than rides, battles the Bugsters to rescue their pixelated patients from the mysterious forces of game-loving purple-pantalooned Parado and a menacing megalomaniacal mimetic masked man in black. With surgical precision and mastery of their Gashek cartridges, they work to discover the truth behind the infection and bring smiles to everyone's faces with a series of adventures to keep everyone Ex-Aid sighted. Sorry, couldn't resist. And that's the end of the episode. Well, not episode, more like series in a nutshell. So, what did I think of it? Well, this was definitely a new experience for me. I've had a lot of time on my hands lately. Well, sort of. Kind of. Not really. I mean, time's no longer what it used to be ever since we got to, well, where we are now. But I decided to take advantage of it by trying something I'd never done before. I mean, I can absorb almost any sort of media via my technopathy, but I've always been focused on Power Rangers and, to a lesser extent, Super Sentai. So this was my first time watching a Kamen Rider series from beginning to end, outside of the endurance trial that was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and the very special kind of special that was Masked Rider. May the Furbus protect you. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Kamen Rider has been the sister series of Power Rangers' source show Super Sentai for the better part of the last 45 years. As the 9th installment of the Neo-Heisei era, 18th installment of the General Heisei era, and 27th installment of the franchise as a whole, Kamen Rider Ex-Aid is a roller coaster of a series, not just visually, but also emotionally. It's easy to brush off a show like this due to its exceptionally cartoonish aesthetics and seemingly incompatible thematics, especially when you have scenes like this.
We're running out of time.
Surely there must be something.
I'm doing everything I can. Now stop calling me Shirley.
In the same episodes as scenes like this.
It's me, Mario! Here we go! Game over!
Audio added by me. However, they actually managed to tie the two themes together surprisingly well through their two different interpretations of the meaning of life. For the Doctor characters, life is something that is intensely sacred and should be preserved at all costs, with the loss of even one life being recognized as an irreversible tragedy. Within the context of video games, though, life takes on a very different meaning and different level of value, due to game mechanics such as continues, extra lives, resets, and saved games, all of which are explored within the show in unique and pretty creative ways. Beyond that, the lives of enemy characters in video games are often treated with an almost negative value, since their destruction is often tied intrinsically into the nature of almost any game. It is this inherent dissonance of values that drives the dramatic tension of the series, as the most prominent villains are characters that explicitly attempt to apply video game values to the real world, treating living humans as simple pawns to be manipulated or sacrificed in the name of personal victory. As a result, game developers within the show view themselves as living gods, with their ultimate goals being either beautiful creation or complete and utter control. Except for Burgermon's developer. He's just fueled by love and condiments. And you will believe a burger can feel love. By contrast, our protagonists are largely driven by the preservation of life, with the main conflict between them being fueled by what they believe to be the best way to go about this, whether through quality of life, detachment, sacrifice, or research. The show does a good job of introducing each of these viewpoints in quick succession, then cycling through the different protagonists to establish why they believe their methods are best, using those motivations to drive their actions through the rest of the series, whether for good or ill. Unfortunately, these clashing ideologies do lead to what often ends up feeling like superficial conflict, as the majority of our heroes consistently fail to recognize the value of teamwork, to the point where you sometimes feel like they're just being willfully frustrating. And that's not even getting into the human characters who value gaming grudges over their own health when they are literally lying in a hospital bed. I'm looking at you, Nico. Anywho. I will say these conflicts do at the very least help drive the plot forward, as the series maintains a pretty relentless pace due to the rather ingenious mechanic of leveling, as both heroes and villains are continually working to catch up to one another, one-up one another, and find creative workarounds to each other's special abilities. This means that it's very rare for more than a single episode to go by without a plot-relevant new rider form or power-up, all the way through to the end of the series. Oh, I don't think that one's supposed to be in there. Anyway, apart from the ongoing arms race, we also have several slowly unfolding and interlocking mysteries, exploring why our main character can transform into an armored fighter, what are the motivations of our villains and their organization, why these seemingly reality-defying threats are manifesting, and how it all ties into the hidden memories of our main character. And oh wow, I'm describing my own life right now, aren't I? Did I mention that his closest ally is a female fictional character who manifests in the real world to provide him with technical assistance? Although in this particular case, he's the one with the doctorate. Overall, despite being a clear deviation from the usually Beetle-themed armored motorcyclists of past installments, even more so than Dragon Knights and Fruit Samurai, Kamen Rider Ex-Aid is a solid series that draws you in with its engaging, well-paced plot, perpetually rising stakes, nostalgic video game-inspired action, and surprisingly heart-wrenching character dilemmas. Although the aesthetics can be mildly distracting, and the character conflicts do occasionally feel manufactured, with a pair of parental figures who do seem rather sadly underdeveloped despite the incredibly obvious influence that they have on several of our heroes, and even our villains. The series makes up for it by having a strong beating heart centered on the sanctity of life itself. This heart, and the impressive manner in which the series manages to tie together its two disparate themes, is perhaps best represented by the character of Poppy, who alternates between down-to-earth nurse and perky video game mascot who wants nothing more than to see everyone smile and play games together as friends. So, until my next entry, this is Database Ranger signing off. Farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect us all.